What is up, everybody? It's another True Vision Capital vlogcast. I know it's been a minute. We've been working hard, building the room up, building some content. So we've been busy with all the meats and potatoes and the whole idea. How you doing, Odin? It's been a while.
What's up, buddy? Yeah, it's definitely been about 3 weeks to a month since we've got to actually get together and do one of these.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, almost a month. But it's good to be back in action. And yeah, I mean, we'll just dive into it. Last week we crushed it. You know, I had a bad Friday, but overall on the week was a great week. Clocked in about 27,000 for the week. So I can't complain there. And, you know, we were live trading every day. I know you've been real busy this week, so we've been doing it without you. But the week prior, since we can kind of cover all 3 weeks, week prior we crushed it as well. I mean, what? We've had it since we've been open every week, straight green.
Yeah. I mean, it's been pretty, good. You know, the market's been a little up and down both directions. So, kind of been trying to play easy option wise because it's easy to get caught up right now. You know, we're downtrending, and then the next thing you know, we're going right back up for a retest, and yeah, I mean, we had towards the end of the week, Thursday, I called out some NVIDIA, which easily ran for at least 250% if anyone took it. 141 calls Thursday.
Wow.
And ended up running up to 144. So yeah, that was a nice gain. Grabbed them at 60 cents, and it ran up into the 2 somethings. So yeah.
Wow. Hell yeah. Wow. Okay. So we had some NVIDIA 250% banger. We've had a couple bangers since we last met. We did I know the team, some of the share team and I, we did a NERV overnight. We got about 90% on that. We got a ABCT overnight. I've been getting these guys going on a lot of these longs, these overnight longs, and we've been crushing it with this specific strategy that we've been using. It's been absolutely on fire. And then, of course, our short setups as well. We've been hitting nail and bail. We live trade the first couple hours. We find our setups. If our setups don't hit, we don't trade. Anytime we force trades, I find myself red. Like, I had a perfect month up to this point till Friday, and then Friday I couldn't find any of my setups. None of my setups hit, so I ended up playing stupid. And I was trying to short the hot chick. I was trying to short SHPH at the wrong levels. I was just trying to nail things that weren't ready to be traded. Really, it wasn't my setup. I got myself caught. Took a nice loss, but all good. No worries. I keep my losses smaller than my green days for a reason. That's why I got the broker stop set and all that. I did want to go over this plays, one of my losers of last week. And it was a winner if I would have played it a little better. So I ended up getting short right up in here, 195, and this is WETG. And it was this first pop. I scaled off a quarter on this dip down here. Actually, no, I got short here. My bad. Right here, 195. It dipped down here to 184. I scaled off a quarter. Then it popped back up, and it wicked my stop loss out here. I had my stop right at 207, and it just tapped 207, hit my stop loss, came back down, came back up to that 207, and then it's had a full afternoon meltdown, just completely broke. Now, my stop was set right at their daily resistance, so that was my first mistake. I should have given it 2 or 3 cents, and then I also had taken a couple losses prior, so my daily max loss was getting close. And by the time we hit that, it ended up wiping me out for the day. So I just wanted to kind of go over that. I should have been patient because this ended up being my setup right here is my TBT. If I would have just been patient and waited for this, all day, I know I would have had to wait a while. I would have had a way different day Friday than I did. But rest of the week was green, so no worries on that. And we'll come back in stronger tomorrow. Now, I know you haven't been really on the screens too much the past week. You've been moving and doing your thing. Anything that you're looking at coming into this next week?
Honestly, I've spent the, week with my kids, so I haven't got a I just got home actually right before we linked up, so I haven't really got to check out charts yet. I'll fire up. Right now I'm on the laptop. Later I'll fire up the desktop, look at a few things. I'm still looking for downside targets for most things. I think there's a lot of things that are just kind of hanging up in the air, and it's more about timing. So, either got to take some farther out options, and kind of slowly, average, as long as they don't run up, not stop out, just slowly average into some of the things that I think have, ran up. Like, for example, I had a perfect, so we had CF, which is CF Holdings or whatever it is. It's fertilizer. It ended up making a new high not too long ago. I had said something about taking options, and honestly, the there wasn't much open interest in any options. So me and Mary really didn't end up taking anything. Thank goodness, because it did make a new high. I think though I can't remember what strike date I was looking at. So it's possible we would have been safe because it did make a new high and then it ran back. I think it is sitting at 100 right now. Can you pull up the CF chart real quick, will you?
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
I think that it's back around 100, maybe 105. But
Yeah, 103.71. This is a 5-minute. What time frame would you like me to pull it up?
I don't know, 5-10 minutes, fine.
Yeah, so this is the 5-minute right now.
Go back to maybe even an hour because it's been how many days now? Yeah.
Just so hourly.
I don't have to remember, but if you actually look out, it did. You'd have to maybe zoom out even more. It did make a new high. So, but
all-time high, right? Is this their all-time high here? Yeah.
So I would say, hopefully it does come back down, but that 120 to 103 or where it came down to, man, that would have been beautiful for options. I mean, you could easily, if you got that perfect, that could have easily been a,
Yeah, it looks like you got even here on
9,000% play.
On a 2-hour here, even it looks like you got a little bit of a bear flag kind of forming here.
Yeah, so I'll have to look at that, but I know that CF's not super liquid on options, so that's where you really have to mind that you definitely have to play it right, because when you have that spread, you're normally you're gonna have to sell at the bid sometimes, things like that. So I mean, you definitely don't want a huge spread, so you need to be quite a bit ahead of it, so there's someone to actually buy your option. So yeah, it's definitely important on things that don't have that when you got a wide spread, you got to make sure that you're protected, because no one really wants to exercise those options. So
yeah,
sometimes,
of course,
truly your option might be worth 1,000%. You might actually only get to sell it for 800%.
Yeah, really with the spread.
So timing a lot of these is timing them and knowing or anticipating that you might necessarily not get to sell at the ask and end up having to sell at the bid. That sometimes even if you're in the right direction, you can get bit in the ass if you're not in the right option. So
yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, with the widespread options for sure. Yeah, it's definitely more of a riskier and more of a swing. You'd be looking to swing and then set your orders on the ask and just try to wait until they fill, or just suck up a couple bucks and hit the bid just to get out if you got to get out.
So we might try to play here in the upcoming weeks. I might look for a little bit more complex options, either doing like verticals or bull calls or bear call spreads, or bear put spreads. So to stay a little bit more protected. Now you won't usually get as much of a return because you're more limited. But
yeah, when you pay, you're also putting less risk out too.
Yeah,
so
you're
lower risk, lower
capital
reward.
a little bit more. So if you play them right, you can win either way.
Yeah, so yeah, it's like even if the stock goes sideways, you can still end up getting out with some green.
Actually, that's exactly what you want if you're doing like a bull or a bear call spread.
Yeah, all right, cool. So we'll keep CF on the list. We'll watch CF. I'm liking to be up closer to this 106 area.
Yep,
You could scale in there and then risk. We have a clear risk off here, which is what I like to teach about is finding, the clear risk on the chart so you know where you're risking. I know with options it can be different, but I still, when I trade options every now and again, I risk the chart. I don't risk percentage or whatever or whatnot, and unless it gets too close. But you know me, I typically play a lot further out, so I can risk off on the chart here.
So yeah, I would
But
look for that same area that you were saying, or closer to a 112. If it passes there, I would look for around the. Isn't there a gap right there, Mike?
yeah, you got a gap up to 113, so you got
Yeah,
from
so
111.93 to 113ish. Yeah.
Yeah, so if it passes that, those would be my next numbers to look for, because obviously
Then you got another gap up here to 116.60s to 118. So you got a couple gaps if it does, break that next gap to watch for.
Yep. So I mean, I will watch the top. That would be probably a good setup there a bit. I'm still looking at Johnson and Johnson, Steel Dynamics. A lot of these I feel like you're going to trade sideways for a little bit, and then when they do drop, they're going to drop hard. So,
Oh, wow, Johnson hasn't had much of a retreat since the markets crashed, huh?
Yeah, no, see that's I do feel like it's going to come down, but medical field stuff, a lot of that stuff. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's a recession or any of that stuff. People still need hips. People still need, and they're big into orthopedics and other things as well. Because that's my hometown is actually the world capital of orthopedics. So Zimmer Biomet Holdings and Johnson's pretty big in my hometown.
Huh. Okay. Well, this one to look forward to, and in the upcoming. To watch out in the Discord, and that's a good leading point into the Discord and our website. If you guys aren't a part of it, hop on, check us out. We put in a lot of work. The link will be down below as well as right here. If I can get it to pop up. There we go. We got the link down here, and now we've got the link.
It's not just about our charts too. If you guys have
yeah, that too. We're gonna go into one of the members charts also at the end here.
Absolutely, yeah. Don't feel free to reach out. I mean, there's so many tickers, 5,000 plus.
Yeah, for real.
So you point it out, we'll check it out and give you our thoughts, because there's been plenty of members that have pointed out absolutely beautiful charts that I've either never seen or I was unaware of, and so.
Absolutely, yeah. So we're gonna go over one of Mary's. She wanted us to look over something, so I'm gonna pull that up towards the end. But yeah, hit the link, join us. We've got it's a full mentorship. It's a different style Discord than what most people do. We're not really focused on signals, though we do offer signals. We're more focusing on what's behind the signals, teaching you how to become a self-sufficient trader yourself and no longer need alerts, because alerts will only get you so far in this industry. And I'll tell you that from experience. It doesn't matter if you've got the absolute best shot caller, the best trader in the damn world, taking their alerts. Their risk is going to be their own. Their risk management is going to be different than yours. They might be able to scalp, reposition. They might be able to do things that you can't do. You have to be able to, in order to get longevity day trading, you have to have your own strategies developed, your own game plan, your own everything, your own risk management. Everything needs to be of yourself. It can't be reliant on, shot callers. And half the time, people you don't even know. Like 90% of the time, you don't even know the people. They're just a screen name on Discord or a screen name on Twitter. You have no idea if they're even putting capital on the line. So join us. We run weekly classes and workshops. We've got a lot of private content we've been grinding and busting our asses on. We've got live trading, sometimes 2 sessions a day, but definitely 1 session a day from a half hour prior to open till about lunchtime. And then sometimes we'll run a little power hour session as well. And then you get access to our strategies, as well as we teach you how to develop your own strategies and what I like to call playbook. And that you'll have your own playbook, your own everything. You learn how to trade for yourself, how to risk yourself. So That's the link. You can hit us there. It's as well as like and subscribe to the channels, all the channels that we have this on. That'd be helpful as well. And then follow us on Twitter. Now, a couple things I'm watching for next week, or at least for Monday. I wouldn't say next week, because I'm a small cap trader, so everything changes day by day. But GovX is my top watch going into tomorrow. And GovX had a nice run up on Friday here, ran up, pulled back to support. These red lines are daily levels, and then it ran up into this daily resistance, and it kind of just slow faded. It didn't fully crack yet. And if you look at this 5-minute, it's kind of flagging here. You can call us a flag, but with new action coming Monday, I don't expect this flag to really play out, but I could be wrong. I mean, GovX is known for multi-day runs, but it is a monkeypox. I believe this is a monkeypox ticker, and I don't see it holding too much weight much longer. So I'm going to be looking for a gap and crap, day 2 gap and crap, looking up in the 1.7 areas, and then the 1.75 area, and then all the way up to 1.82. Obviously, if it breaks as 8.2 to 8.6, it's a multi-day runner, and we won't be trading it. We'll be staying away. But there's just a couple levels I'm watching for. Another one's Wet G, which is one that I got a little chopped up on Friday. That could have been a great winner, but I ended up taking a loss right at the top here. I got top ticked out. I'm going to be watching same thing, day 2 gap and crap up into this 1.7 area to 1.82, 1.8 to 1.82 are going to be my 2 levels of interest. And then we had DMS as well. There's another one I'm watching next week or into Monday here. Pull it up here on the 5-minute. So DMS, we had a pretty strong run. It hasn't cracked yet. It gapped up pre-market or gapped up after hours, held its weight pre-market, dipped and ripped right up into a resistance level that it respected in the past over here. So we have areas of interest on this chart are going to be 2.22 and 2.3. If it breaks over and it breaks over 2.4, once again, multi-day runner won't be too interested in it anymore. It's just a couple charts. Obviously, we run the scanner. It's another perk of being a member is you got full access to the trade idea scanner. I now have it set up because I got the new computer in, so I run it while we're trading. I've ran it all last week, and we've been loving the midday parabolics that it hits midday on it. We've been killing those midday parabolics off the scanner. So you got full access to the trade idea scanner. We've got quite a few perks of being a member of True Vision Capital.
Yep.
So yeah, those are a couple I'm watching.
More content will be added. Obviously, I've been busy, got a lot of things going on. Hopefully, as things settle down, I'll be able to hopefully here soon put out some more of our private content that's on both our website and on in the members part of our website, which has a login, as well as links to for the premium members to the YouTube channel, the hidden videos in the YouTube. So.
Yep, yeah, and I'm working on as well, which should be out by the end of this week. I just need to get more film. Is part 3 to my 3-part series that I started a couple weeks back. It's all on my top 3 short selling strategies, how to find them, how to trade them, where to risk off on the charts, how to read the price action, which is the part 3. I've got a bunch of film on tape, time and sales, plus charts to go with the time and sales, so we can watch the replay, watch what's unfolding in the levels that we look for on our setup. So it's going to be, this part 3 is going to be serious. It's going to be the meat and potatoes of the series on learning how to read the tape. As well as during the live trading, I keep the tape open as well for everybody to, kind of watch when we're trading. And I kind of go over what's happening and unfolding just to give people a better idea of how to read the tape. Because that's a lot of what people put off when they start trading is learning how to read price action. And it is the most crucial tool that you could have in your toolbox. If you can understand and read the price action as it's unfolding, I mean, you don't even need all these squiggly lines. You don't need that. You don't need the supply and demand zones. You don't need the resistance and support levels. You can read the price action. You know what's going to happen, before it happens. So yeah, Odin, you got anything else you want to talk about?
Like I said, I wasn't quite as prepared with, some of my ideas for next week. I'm gonna look back over some of the ones that I've posted in my section. Quite a bit of different ideas, but for other people as well to watch, to put in their watch list. I've got a lot going on, so I'm not going to be able to hit every one of my ideas that I suggested, but they're definitely charts that I've keeping my eye on that have great potential for downside. You brought up Ruby.
Yeah, I just pulled this one up. This is we'll give a freebie out to everybody out there that watches this and tunes in before the session tomorrow. This is RUBY. This is our whole team is in long right now for an overnight. And we're targeting up here at the high of Thursday, which is 1.44. So we've got a nice overnight set up, and we've been hitting about 98% on these overnights. A couple that we played just last week was IC. IC we hit right around 15 bucks right in here, and we overnighted this right up in, where was it? Yeah, it was right up in here somewhere, right in 15 to 1478 area, and we got all the way till about 19 on it. I think it ran into after hours, about 19 bucks. And then we had, what was another one from last week? I'll pull up a couple more. We had quite a few that we nailed.
I don't know, but I was bitter about IC. I had a position and accidentally sold it pre-market when I was messing around when I got to work in the morning, and I didn't even mean to do it. So ended up,
Oh, VERO was another one we ran the inside bar on, which was the overnight on this, and we got long in here right around 49 to 51, and it still has been on an uptrend since. I mean, we got out for 23% in the high 60s, but it ended up all the way up into 78 area. It was a swing. It was alerted as a swing, so we're up. It'd be up about almost 75%. So it's been a nice run, 60% somewhere in there. I'll do the math for you. But yeah, this was a nice one that we ran. It was a lower volume, so we couldn't get in as much size, but still a nice little hit. I believe we got 0.51 to 0.78. So we had about 53% run since our swing alert on this bad boy.
Nice.
And then what else did we swing last week? We swung, we did a long day trade on FWBI. This was Monday, or it's not Monday because we had no trading Monday, so it's Tuesday. We caught this dip down in here, and this is a long setup that I've been teaching. I've been teaching Tiger in our one-on-one sessions. We bought this in here, and we got all the way up to 4.9 for the 3.75. So that was a nice winner. So we've been absolutely crushing it on both sides of the ball. We don't just short, we long also. GCT was an over the weekend hold. This was another overnighter that we held from down in here, and we got up to 23 from 20 or 18, whatever it was. Let me see, 19 bucks. So from 19 to 23, another easy win. So yeah, you guys are missing out. If you're not in the Discord, definitely join, hit us up. Absolutely missing out on free money. We're giving out money left and right in there. Between the options.
And we try to find these setups before they necessarily, not just, yes, there's going to be momentum, day trades and things like that. But a lot of these, like Mike's sitting here explaining, are setups that, even if you're not above DT, you can obviously buy the position in after hours and sell pre-market or the next day, and it doesn't even get the day trade. So it's not necessarily just watching the scanner being like, oh, worth watching. No, these are setups that were found the night before being able to be played out the next day. And, like he's saying, they're 90%, so far win rate.
We've had one loss that would have been a win if we had a few more cents in risk on it. It would have been a win. That's since we started playing these again. this setup, it doesn't use any day trades. This is how I built my account a couple of years back, was with this setup. You know, it phased out of play for a while. It wasn't really hitting as hard, but the past 2 months, it's been just absolutely on fire. And, you know, last year I made a majority of my money off of this setup. I made, you know, probably about 75% of my money. You don't have, you're buying on low volume, so you got to just set the bids and let them fill in the after hours. And then the next day you get that nice rush, that nice surge, and you start to scale out into the strength. You don't use a day trade. So if you're under PDT, but you're on margin, let's say you're a short bias or an up and coming short bias trader, setups, I know that's going long. So, you know, a lot of people are just fully against going long, which, I mean, you're missing out on money. But if you're a short bias trader under PDT, these setups are crucial because overnighting shorts will kill you in the long run. You'll get a couple that will win. You'll get some winners, but you have to pay the margin fee. Then you got to pay 3 times to hold overnight or 4 times to hold overnight. Right. You know, by the time you've paid all your fees, you're going to need such a big move just to really, you know, make that risk worth the reward. You know, with these overnights long, you don't have to pay any fees. You just get them, you get in after hours, you sell at market open or even pre-market if it runs pre-market or midday, whenever it decides to go. And it's simple. It's a simple strategy that's when it's in play, it's hot. It works consistently.
Yeah, so they're not like these plays aren't just your typical, you know, called out from a scanner or what's on the hot list for today. They're picked out the night before, which I'm not saying every play. I'm just saying a lot of these setups are. So it's not.
Yeah, all these overnights. All the overnights are we don't pick. They're not picked up off the scanner. These are ones we're doing the work, finding them, breaking down the technical analysis in my alerts section. When I alert one of these, I break down the technical analysis. You know, where to buy in, where to set your bids, where to set your stop loss, where to take profit at. And if you look here, these 2 levels are my take profit levels on this overnight, and we nailed right into both of them before it faded. It literally nailed the 2 take profit areas that I had posted. 21.79, 22.84. Went a little bit over 22.84, but it was almost to a T on the take profit levels. And then ICE, which was the most recent one. I don't have it charted on here. I got it charted on Webull, which I have open. Just pull it up here. ICE did the same shit.
Yep, and Mike's been absolutely killing these small caps, both long and short. I mean, he's, you know, it's not just, you know, he might be a short bias trader, but I mean, he's nailing these longs just as much. So
here's our ICE trade we got in here, and I put a take profit around 16, take profit around 1660, and then a take profit at 17, and we nailed all 3 of those. And then it dipped down to support, held support, and you could have even gotten another trade back up to the 17s, and then it ended up gapping up the next day and running the next day. So from this alert, you're up about, if you swung the whole thing for 2 days, you're up about 50%. If you just took profit the first day, you got about 25%. So definitely you make your sub money back on just one of these trades.
Absolutely. Yeah. No reason you shouldn't be making your money back off, you know, just a few trades. And it pays for itself.
Yeah, and like we mentioned in the beginning too, like we do give you guys alerts. Obviously, it's always going to happen. But what we really want to start seeing is, as some of the members turn into senior members, we want to see them now posting their gains, their profits, and their tickers they traded, and them to be complete opposite of what we traded, and like finding their own setups, you know, coming in with their own plans and executing on their own. And I know, you know, Tiger's been doing really well with it. Mary just is starting to get into taking her own setups as well. And, you know, we want to give you some of our strategies, have you kind of adjust them to fit your kind of style of trading, or just completely scrap it and we can help you find a new strategy that works for you. And kind of just run with it and eventually be your own self-sufficient, fully profitable trader. There's no reason that can't happen. I know a lot of people are more so along the lines of just, you know, who's got the biggest picture on biggest paper gain on Twitter. Let's follow that guy. But in the end of the day, it's all about what you're going to do with your own style, your own strategy, and how you're going to, because you can't just, like I said in the beginning, you can't just follow alerts forever. I tried it. I paid for multiple alert services. I would have some success in the beginning, and then at the end I'd get smoked, and I'd be like, why am I getting smoked? And I'm talking even before Discord. There was a couple like websites. I've done it all, and the best thing is really just education, finding mentors that are willing to teach you the stuff that most people don't teach. Because that's another thing too. A lot of these services, these alert services, they don't want you to become self-sufficient. If they teach you the strategies, then you don't need them anymore. You're not going to pay for their service anymore. So they'll leave stuff out. They're not going to teach you a lot of the things that you actually need to really become a self-sufficient trader.
Yep.
But with that, I mean, we're at about the 30-minute mark. It was nice coming back on. We've got our watch list for tomorrow. We're about to run a workshop in an hour. I'm going to run a workshop with the team. We're going to go over some more in depth on some of our setups, some of our watchers for tomorrow, as well as we're going to do a quick review of some tape. So we're going to go over the tape a little bit that I had filmed for me last week. And then that's really it. And get a good night's sleep, get on, and we'll absolutely crush it again tomorrow. We'll be live half hour before the open. So I'm going to try to have this up by tonight. But if we have it up by tonight and you're watching this, you want to get in on this live trading, the link's down below. Join us. Hit the link. You come on in. We'll welcome you with open arms, and we're ready to rock.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Odin, you got any last thoughts before we cut this out?
No, I think that I'm gonna here in the next few hours. I'll check out some charts and I'll post some ideas for tomorrow, going into tomorrow. It might be later on in the day before I'm on tomorrow. I've got a few things I got to handle later on in the day, but hopefully we can see what the trend is going to be at the start of the week to see if we get a continuation upwards and then a cutoff to trend back down, which is very, very likely if you're looking at SPY. We're coming up along some good ES, and SPY has some good rejection zones, so we'll see what it wants. That's a good indication for a lot of the the big caps that I play and things like that. So I'll make a watch list tonight as well. And I really like to play it easy at the beginning of the week to see if we get faked out for a reversal or if a continuation is really going to happen. So we'll get that set up with the watch list, and the rest will get covered in the workshop tonight.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it looks like we had a nice supply zone that formed down here on SPY, and it kind of bounced a couple times in there and got bought up. So we'll see. I mean, it is technically in a demand zone right here. So we'll see how it reacts for sure. I know ES gapped up, but you're also talking Asia session, so it doesn't. You do get some action Asia, and then you got the London session that comes up around 2 a.m. Eastern. So you do get some action, but it's not nearly as much action as the U.S. Open. So we'll see what U.S. brings tomorrow. Right now, Asia is bullish for the time being. But we do have, like you said, we got the 4,100 whole dollar psychological right here. We've got 4168 coming up. I've got quite a few spots of interest for the backside for rejection.
Are your purples? Those are resistances, right? Is that what you have?
Yeah, those are my dailies. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was looking to at some, and those are pretty accurate of areas I would as well look for some rejection. So
68 to 70, really. It's like 68 to 70.
This area I could possibly see up to the 17, 18. But I'm not confident in that unless we get a strong push upwards. I mean,
looks like I missed one here too. We got one right around this old neckline.
Yep. So right now, it's kind of up in the air. We'll just
that's the one you were talking about, 17, 18. Yeah, I got you. Okay, yeah. So we'll keep an eye on ES throughout the night. I trade futures as well. I get up about an hour before I get live and I do my trading. Typically the bonds I like to trade are a slower moving asset, higher tick per tick value. So I like to trade the bonds in the morning, and then we'll get down and dirty on the small cap game and we'll be rocking and rolling right around 7:30. No, what was it, 8:30, half hour before the open, or 9 o'clock. We'll get on around 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. I'll be live. We've been going about 15 minutes earlier than that half hour mark, so I was thinking 5:45 Pacific and 7:45 Eastern. We'll be live for we'll do a little pre-market prep, and then we'll get down and dirty. We'll get the scanner going, and we'll get busy. We'll get to work. It's going to be another great work day, great work week. And yeah, everybody have a great week. If you are watching this and you don't decide to join us, I hope you guys have a green week. If you do decide to join us, I'm stoked to see you. And yeah, with that, that's all I got.
Yep. You guys have a great week, and we'll